Plenty of Notre Dame quarterback news to discuss in this video at Blue and Gold. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video before we dive into it. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. Make sure you head to blueandgold.com for so much more coverage on your Fighting Irish. This is kind of the latest developments. You have Kenny Minchey entering the transfer portal as we expected. Anthony Rizak, minor surprise, told that he has opportunities to play elsewhere. He was a walk-on quarterback for the Fighting Irish, expecting both of those guys to enter the transfer portal when it opens up officially on January 2nd. So, Jack Sobel, this is the four-man quarterback room for the Fighting Irish in the 2026 season. You, of course, for all this discussion, you have the guy at the top. CJ Carr is going to be, I think a future first-round pick. He's going to, he's kind of thrown around as an early Heisman contender for the 2026 season. That is great. Next, you have Blake Hebert, who's going to be a redshirt freshman. And then other big news, Teddy Gerard officially, officially, Blue and Gold reported on Friday that Gerard from Kennesaw, Georgia, North Cobb High School, four-star passer, 6'3", 196, is going to be reclassing. He will sign with Notre Dame in that traditional 1st February Wednesday of national, that old National Signing Day. So Gerard will officially join the 26th class, who's committed to the Irish in the 27 cycle, and switching classes. And then, of course, Noah Grubbs, longtime Notre Dame quarterback, commits in the 2026 class. So that is the four-man group: Carr, Hebert, Gerard, and Grubbs. You got a guy in Carr who obviously started every game for Notre Dame this past season, and then three unknown commodities. So, Jack, how are you feeling about this quarterback room for Notre Dame in 2026?
Well, obviously very good at the top. This is the first time it is December 22nd, and we know who Notre Dame's quarterback is going to be next year that I can remember since being on Notre Dame beat. CJ Carr is fantastic. He's going to be Notre Dame's quarterback for at least one more year, probably just one more year if he continues on his current trajectory. Then behind him, I think Notre Dame will tell us what it thinks about Blake Hebert by his actions in the transfer portal, right? If it's confident in Blake Hebert, probably don't need to bring in a guy, because you would think a redshirt freshman would be ready to step up as the backup, kind of like Steve Angeli was 2 years ago, right? They did after Tyler Buckner left. They said, I believe Marcus Freeman said straight up, we would have brought in a backup if we weren't confident in Stephen Kenny. We were confident in Stephen Kenny. So that's kind of the situation Notre Dame's in now. If they're confident in Hebert and the freshman, they will not bring in a transfer. If they're not, they will.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I've been kind of beating this drum for a while, the thought of bringing in a portal backup in the case that Minchey does leave, which we've been expecting since Carr, won the job. That Minchey, look, you have the variable of the 2025 season. Like who knows what could happen? Like, could Carr get hurt and Minchey be the guy? And you just never know, right? But now that variable's done. The 2025 season happened. Minchey didn't really play any meaningful snaps, which was a big subplot. Well, I think most of us thought, Jack, that Minchey at some point he was going to be needed to go win Notre Dame a football game. That was not the case. Carr stayed healthy the entire season, but so Minchey goes as expected. And I've been kind of talking about this for a while. Man, what if you can bring in? I've been calling it the Max Hurlman for backup quarterback. Max Hurlman for the 24 team, comes in from an Ivy League school and is a special teamer and just kind of helps out the team in different areas. Can you find that guy who's played college football, whether it's at the FCS level or maybe like a high D2 guy, who can help you and be QB2? I was talking to some sources about that. On the Notre Dame side of things, I'm told it is being considered, but they're only going to do it if that perfect situation pops up. Like the guy needs to be good enough to play at Notre Dame. Otherwise, why bring this person in? You have plenty of bodies. You don't just need another body, but also be okay going from a situation where you were a starter at this level to now just being the backup at Notre Dame. So you would assume it'd be like some lifelong Notre Dame fan who would just go crazy for the opportunity to just be QB2 and be right there to start. So if Carr were to go down, knock on wood, in 2026, so that's kind of a note there. If it happens, there you go. But again, it's going to need a perfect situation. But Jack, if not, Hebert, you would assume is QB2, right? He's the guy who's been in the room for a year, but there's just something about Noah Grubbs that I'm not sleeping on, Jack. How much high school football he's played at a high level in the state of Florida. I was told from his offensive coordinator in our live show this past Friday, Jack, that they've even added some Notre Dame concepts and Notre Dame terminology to the Lake Mary offense, like to get Grubbs ready. So you don't see often a freshman, true freshman QB2, but Grubbs, I could see it happening.
Yeah, I think it would be a competition, but honestly, between all three of them, I know Gerard is young, but clearly, if they're going to reclassify him, they think he's ready to come in and compete. So I would think it's a competition. I do want to echo all but one of the things you said, and that one is that all respect to Colgate, they're in the Patriot League, not the Ivy League. Important distinction there from a mid-major basketball fan like myself. But I agree. It's hard. Like, it's great in theory to go get a veteran backup in the transfer portal, but it's way harder than you think, right? Like you said, Mike, to find someone who is both qualified to be the backup quarterback at Notre Dame and willing to be the backup quarterback at Notre Dame. Which is why I think, and I know you think this too, that the FCS or D2 route is probably Notre Dame's best option. Think like a Trinidad Chambliss who came to Ole Miss to be the backup quarterback and is now going to wind up starting. I forget which bowl game they're going to after crushing Tulane, but he's going to wind up starting in a national quarterfinal game, and he's had quietly, I think, because there's so much else going on at Ole Miss, but a quietly fantastic season. So that's kind of the route that they would go. And that, I think you or I, Mike, if we were in charge, we would go. But if not, like, I would think it's an open competition.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an open competition. If not, and I think it's just an easier said than done thing. It's like, right, just go get Trinidad Chambliss Part 2. It's like, I mean, it's like, you have to go find that and do a ton of research and see if that kid is out there. I did want to end with why Gerard reclass, like why move him from the 27 to the 26 class. And my understanding is this. We all know Carr is a tremendous prospect. I talked earlier in the video, like I think it's going to be a first-round pick. I would assume that Notre Dame believes that as well. So after he goes, who's the next quarterback? And by reclassifying Jarrard to 2026 cycle, you set up a 2027 quarterback battle between the guys that just battled for QB2, Hebert, Gerard, and Grubbs. So that's really it. Freeman talked about on signing day, Jack, like he'll go to the portal if he has to, but it's not for a quarterback. He doesn't want to, right? He wants to build through high school quarterback recruiting. So this is the way to do it. If you don't reclassify Gerard, it's just Hebert versus Grubbs. This way, you have three talented arms in that room to let them duke it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just increasing your odds. And I think, Mike, you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, what this move indicates more than anything else is that Notre Dame really does not want to go to the transfer portal for a quarterback again. I mean, it would have been easy if like, maybe you're iffy on Hebert, maybe you're iffy on Grubbs. You think Gerard might be the guy to just say, all right, we can bridge it for a year with the transfer quarterback and then go to Gerard. But I think Notre Dame believes in Grubbs and maybe even Hebert more than people think. And B, they really do not want to go to that portal. They want to spend their money elsewhere. I think it is a really important distinction to make, given like how crazy the portal quarterback market has gotten even since Notre Dame got Riley Leonard. Like what Notre Dame paid Riley Leonard would be extremely cheap by today's what today's quarterback market is right now. So Notre Dame does not want to do that. They would rather have another three-man competition. And of course, like the last three-man competition worked out pretty well because I think all three of those guys are going to be Power 4 starters next year.
Yeah, think about it when you have like a stud young quarterback on a rookie contract or something, and it's like, okay, you can spend all this money on other pieces, but if you once you sign Tua to a $50 million a year deal or whatever, your Dolphins are screwed, which mine are. The other thing that this and maybe we're reading into the Gerard reclass like the kind of the other parts of it too much. I don't think we are, but maybe we are. Is that it signals they think Carr's gone after the season? Like they think that Carr's just going to be too good. He's just too good. I think that Carr might want to stay all 4 years or whatever, but like if the guy's like a first round pick, like a top 3 quarterback in the 26 or is this 27 draft, whatever.
This would be the next 27 draft.
The 27 draft, like he's got to go. You can't come back. So
yeah, I would think one of my favorite activities after the draft every year is to pull in all the 2027 mock the way too early mock drafts is just see like, all right, which Notre Dame guys are on these lists, and these aren't really mock drafts, they're like just watch lists for the next season, 32-man watch list in the format of mock drafts because that's what people read, and I would fully expect CJ Carr to be on all of those mock drafts and potentially very high.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Go to blueandgold.com for so much more quarterback news and recruiting updates over on our website, including who might Notre Dame target if they take a 2027 quarterback now that Gerard's reclassed. I wrote that article over the weekend, so check it out. Again, folks, hit that thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys next time.